Good morning and happy Friday. Today's math lesson focuses on solving addition and subtraction word problems. All right, today's word problem, we're going to start with, again, just an example. First graders donated 258 cans for the food drive. Third graders donated 221 cans. How many more cans did first grade donate? All right. So we know that when we're working with a word problem, we're not just looking at the numbers, but we have to recognize what those numbers represent and what the question is asking us to figure out. So go back to the question mark. How many more cans did first grade donate? So this question already tells us that first grade did donate more. We need to figure out how many more that they did donate. All right. So using a tape diagram, I'm going to have a nice visual so that we can see what it looks like. All right, so first grade donated 258 cans for the food drive. Third grade donated 221 cans. We need to figure out how many more cans first grade was able to donate. So this piece here is what we're trying to figure out. All right. The knowns are first grade. We know that 258 cans were collected. We also know that first grade has donated more cans than third grade. We simply need to know how many more. So what could we do to figure this out? Okay, we can add from 221 all the way up to 258. So counting up by tens, 231, 241, 251, and then counting individually by units. Or, yeah, it sets up as a nice subtraction problem also. So if we take, again, that greater number, which is 258, and put the smaller number, 221, and then subtract. 8 minus 1 is 7. 5 minus 2 is 3. 2 minus 2 is 0. Not writing it down. Okay, subtraction problem. Remember, as soon as you're done with your subtraction problem, you have to check your work. 7 plus 1 is 8. True. 3 plus 2 is 5. True. And 0 plus 2 is 2. True. So the difference between first grade and third grade in the amount of cans that were donated were 37 cans. So that missing number here would be 37. So how could we restate the answer, even though we have a both visual and standard algorithm used as a piece of information? So I could put 37 here. And if you show both, one way and again a second way, really nice job going above and beyond one way to show your work, okay? Having multiple ways is an excellent way to show a deeper understanding of the knowledge. All right, so back to race strategies. Question, how many more cans did first grade donate? First grade donated 37 more cans than, I'm comparing, so it's the word an, than third grade. When you're done, just go back and read your work out loud so that you know it sounds like it makes sense. First grade donated 37 more cans than third grade. Yep. Again, lots of different ways that you could have reworded that. That's just one way in which to do so. Okay? Pause, rewind, go back if you need to review any of this information. It's great because it's on video. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and pause here so I can write the next problem. All right, word problem number 2. Mrs. Nunley walked 8,458 steps on Monday, On Tuesday, she walked 7,590 steps and 10,141 steps on Wednesday. How many steps did Mrs. Nunley walk all 3 days? So going back, rereading however many times so that it really does make sense and you understand what the question is asking you to do and what the information represents. Okay, question mark. The question is asking you to figure out how many steps Mrs. Nunley walked in all of those 3 days. So what operation might we be performing here on this word problem? Yep, we're going to add. All right, so addition, we're going to go and take a look. On Monday, this can be done a couple different ways. You can use tape diagram. I'm going to go and choose to do both methods. Okay, not really comparing, but that visual really does show how many more days that she walks each day. Okay, so on Monday, she walks 8,458 steps. On Tuesday, a little bit less, 7,590. And on Wednesday, she walked a little further at 10,141. So the reason I choose to use a tape diagram is to just kind of visually show a representation of which day looks like she had the most amount of steps and which one had the least. Okay, the tape diagram really does have a really nice way for your eyes to just immediately go towards, oh, this one was the most. Not only does the number tell me, but the tape, the piece of tape, it tells me and it shows me right away that this one is the most amount of steps. This one is the next most amount, and this one is the least. Okay, now starting with this, we're going to go ahead and add all 3 of those steps up. Probably want to start with the largest number, so whichever one is the largest. I know that 10 is, but also the picture tells me right away. 10,141 plus, I'm just going to go in order from greatest to least. 8,458, and I'm going to go ahead and add up 7,590. Not a lot of space, but I'm going to make it work. All right, 1 plus 8 plus 0 is 9. 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 plus 9 is 18. Carry my 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 plus 1 is 11. Carry my 1. 0 plus 8 is 8. 8 plus 7 is 15. And 15 plus 1 is 16. Carry that 1. And 1 plus 1 is 2. Again, remember that when you're adding, whether you're adding, subtracting, multiplying, whatever operation it is, you do need to check your work. That means do it a different way than you did the first time, because if you continue to do it in the same way, you're going to get the same result. So I went from up here, worked my way down. I'm going to start at the bottom and then work my way up. Oops. Okay, 0 plus 8 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 plus 5 is 14. 14 plus 4 is 18. 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 plus 1 is 10. 10 plus 1 is 11. 7 plus 8 is 15. 15 plus 1 is 16. 1 plus 1 is 2. All right, so that gives me the total of 26,189. I know some of you are already screaming, oh, Mrs. Williams, you forgot something. Thank you for letting me know. All right, now again, here's my answer, and I've shown it multiple times. This just kind of tells you or shows you the difference or the difference in sizes. But this one gives you the answer. But now we want to go back and use our race strategies. Unfortunately, I don't have room on here, so I'm just going to say what my answer would be included in my racist strategies. Okay, how many steps did Mrs. Nunley walk all 3 days? Mrs. Nunley walked 26,189 steps all 3 days. Or, in those 3 days, Mrs. Nunley walked 26,189 steps, or took those amount of steps. Okay? All right. We're going to do one more word problem. So I'm going to pause it right here. All right, last word problem. At a parade, 97,853 people sat in bleachers. 388,547 people stood along the street. How many fewer people were in the bleachers than standing along the street? Okay, so we have two very large numbers and a question that's asking us to figure out how many fewer people were in the bleachers than standing along the street. What operation do you think we'll be performing here? Subtraction. So sometimes in word problems there are keywords that tell us it's going to be a subtraction or addition problem. Sometimes there might be clues just in the writing itself, okay? So in the question, how many fewer people were in the bleachers than standing along the street? That tells me I want to know how many less people were in the bleachers than standing along the street. That also tells me that there were more people standing along the street than there were seated in the bleachers. So back to the tape diagram. Ooh, wrong way. I'm going to go ahead and put bleachers or street. All right, so I could have put seated or standing also. So for bleachers, how many people were seated in bleachers? $97,853. All right. And how many people were standing along the street? 388,547. I know comparison-wise, this should be a lot greater, a lot bigger in size, but I want to save some space for me to do some of the work here, so it's not as realistic in length proportion as I would like it to be. All right, so we need to figure out how many fewer, so we need to again figure out what this number is going to be. In order for us to figure out a missing piece here, to figure out how much less there is here, we're going to work on a subtraction problem. Okay, starting with that greatest number, which number is greater? Yep, 388,547. And then we're going to subtract. Make sure you're lining it up. There are 2 places to the left of the comma, so you're starting 2 places to the left of this area here. 97,853. And subtract. All right, 7 minus 3 is 4. 4 minus 5. Can't do it, so we go next door and borrow some more. Can we take 1 from 5? Yes, 5 becomes a 4. Now this 4 becomes a 14. Can we take 5 away from 14? Yes. 14 minus 5 is 9. Can we take 8 away from 4? No. So we have to go next door and borrow some more. This 8 will now become a 7. This 4 will become a 14. 14 minus 8 is 6. 7 minus 7 is 0. 8 minus 9, can't do it. Go next door, borrow some more. That 3 becomes a 2. 8 becomes an 18. 18 minus 9 is 9. 2 minus 0 is 2. 1, 2, 3, comma here. Now we're going to check our work. 4 plus 3 is 7. True. 9 plus 5 is 14. True. 6 plus 8 is 14. True. 0 plus 7 is 7. True. 9 plus 9 is 18. True. And 2 plus 0 is 2. True. So not only did we do our subtraction problem correctly, we also took the time to check our work to make sure our work was done correctly. And that's a very important step in working any kind of math problem. All right, again, kind of ran out of room. So how could we reword this? We have our visual, we have our second method, which is standard algorithm, working that subtraction problem. Now, how do we write the answer completely, including the label, and restate the question? How many fewer people were in the bleachers than standing along the street? There were 290,694 fewer people in the bleachers than standing along the street. Okay? Again, lots of different ways to word it, but you need to include the answer, the label, and restate your question. All right. Because today is Friday, and rather than having an assignment, yes, you are going to have an assignment, but it's going to be different from what you've been doing this week. I want to see what you've been able to take away from this whole week. So for your assignment, you're going to be working on a very short quiz, just 8 questions, do your best. Again, same deal, do your work, take a picture, upload, or send it on Google Docs, do your work there, okay? Please make sure you number your problems, write the questions as best you can, and completely answer your questions. Do your best and check your work. If you have any questions, please ask. Otherwise, I will see you next week. Have a great, happy Friday. I miss you guys. You guys are great. Thank you for watching these videos. Thank you for keep doing the math, keeping your brain alive, alert, and active. All right. That's it. Happy Friday once again.